Hello peeps and hello peppers. I still don't know what to call this video, but we'll figure something out. We just need a catchy title for the algorithm. Yes, I was just listening to an interview with one of my friends from the last art market, and it was so gorgeous. And actually, I spent this day becoming independent with buying food that I would actually eat and that would actually be healthy to me. Yes, I'm exploring a more healthy diet, apt to my energy levels, and yes, I am still too slow with working for the next art market, but actually, let's say good things happen that I can really work as a professional illustrator. And yes, anyone who is actually good with water soluble pens, this is not a graphite pen. Can you tell me what to do with this poor puffin? Because I'm trying what I can, and I'm actually really happy with Tobias the seal celebrating with the puffins. Like the Nine of Cups is supposed to be the harvest of your hard work. And yes, the harvest of the hard work has begun, but like now I probably also need a lot of, let's say, help from outside to do everything right. And yes, I wanted the Knight of Cups to be on a seahorse. Like when I grew up in Germany, the seahorse was actually like a badge for young children learning to swim, and at least to me and my family, that was a milestone, even though I was way older than the other kids. So yes, I'm hearing this story, this question in the autism community like more than once. What relation do autistic people have to water and swimming? And there are very various answers to it. So if anyone needs to know, I can technically swim, but I rather float, hence my stories of the sea monster. Yeah, today and yesterday there was a storm, so I have these anxiety bouts. I just have to live with them. And okay, I have 5 minutes until the lights go out here, so we'll see. Like, you know, my phone is set to go to black and white at 11 p.m., so I'm developing a healthy sleep routine. And yes, I consider myself still too slow for getting the projects done, but well, maybe they are just going with the flow. Like my friend informed me that the cups always symbolize the water element. The water element symbolizes the flow, and yes, I got a new sketchbook for my new life as an illustrator. But first, I still have to do more than 70 little cards. And I actually first thought to do them like just with basically always one line with a watercolor paintbrush. But as usual, life had other plans because that just happened in the flow. And I like the idea how the walrus protects the puffin with his teeth. Like here, I isolated the two of swords from my standard deck that I didn't draw, and that is probably AI created because there are strange gaps in the prints. But yeah, I can't totally reject AI, and these cards tell beautiful stories, so I can tell stories to the market customers with those. Like crossed swords is always like a duel, so I have to think of this piece of music by Giorgio Moroder, The Duel, where the computer and the cellist actually work together, communicate, and still battle. And the swords are always the air element. So I'm citing this Duel movie or Duel clip from Electric Dreams because it was always a symbol of, to me, like doing my passion and using my art to communicate. And the computer in this film Electric Dreams is a little bit like an autistic person, but also like a parody on AI, when people didn't really know what AI or autism were. But the film is a little bit prophetic, I would say. Like here is the ocean. The ocean doesn't play a role in the film. Rather the earthquakes, because this is like set in Los Angeles. And the film begins with a guy talking about an earthquake-proof building brick that looks like a particular Lego, I would say. And yes, you might have figured out that I'm doing a lot of random rambling here. So I'm jumping from the Lego to the moon, like the reflecting the sunlight and sometimes being invisible, and still the full moon is a form of fulfillment. And here my screen goes black and white because my electronic devices think that I have to go to bed now, but now I'm a little bit more stubborn than my stubborn electronic devices. I read such a nice article about Thor the Walrus today. And Thor the Walrus actually landed in England, and people, if I can believe this article, I never know if it was just made for amusement and spiritual growth, but it was anyway there that Thor the Walrus landed in England, and the English people cancelled a festival with fireworks just to keep Thor calm and to respect his nature. Now, of course, over the long weekend, I'm reading a lot of articles on autism and setting people with autism boundaries versus not. So I am always a little bit critical when everybody starts operating around a person or a creature with a particular need and puts their own needs to a freeze. But as to fireworks, I am sort of opposed to them because they cost a lot of money that you could use otherwise to improve the community. They stink, actually. They produce such a dust in the air. Like, let's say the morning after New Year's Eve, I have a little bit of a difficulty breathing. Like, not badly, but let's say people with real asthma would have the real problem here. And like then always sweeping up the trash, and there are a lot of accidents with fireworks. I mean, they are pretty to look at, and they are like culturally precious, but you can really consider alternatives. So if this story that I read is true, then thanks to Thor the Walrus to get the people to find alternatives. And the story also makes me a little bit sad because like other walrus were not that lucky because people like shot them because they were in the way or something. So yeah, let's find a way of the middle. Let's think about what we really need. I was so glad that let's say a friend who I met actually through this use of the word Keshari from my autistic idiolectal language. That means essence. And this person picked up this word like 10 years ago, used it even in a self-help group. And like recently they came into my apartment to help me with something, and we actually were agreeing I had too much stuff, and like we talked about literally Keshari, what is the essence of what I need to keep, and what actually is the essence of this art project. So this makes me think, and there is not one right or wrong answer to that yet. But of course, as life proceeds and as this art project here proceeds, we will probably see per development what is the Keshari, the one and only essence of the project. And I hope I will make a lot of good connections at the market. Like, people don't buy artwork, people buy the stories. And I'm really, really happy with this puffin because he's protected. He has a friend, even though the swords are always more of a sad theme, disorientation, and so forth. And yes, maybe Tobias, the seal, also, because of all the joy of bringing in the harvest together, maybe they also have room for a rather chunky puffin who is not perfect. So I'll see you when I see you. My whole plan for like sort of having a theme every week went down the drain, but who knows what happens in the flow when we all dive deeper and find our own personal Keshari, our essence. Bye bye.